Good evening, Arun sir. Good evening. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Firdaus. You're audible.
Evening.
Yes. Uh, Good evening, sir. Welcome. Good evening, Susmita.
Good evening, मैम थोड़ा लाइट नहीं है यहाँ पे थोड़ी दिक्कत रहेगी
कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Okay. So, Susmita, today you have a two-panel interview, okay? So I'll be starting first and then Arun sir will take over, right? So
yes ma'am.
Susmita, tell me about something about yourself.
Ma'am, my name is Susmita Sharma. I belong to the town Sundarnagar of district Mandi, Himachal Pradesh. I have done my schooling from St. Mary's School, Sundarnagar. Thereafter, I did my graduation in law from ULS Shimla. Uh, I'm a postgraduate in law, ma'am, and currently I'm serving as Assistant Legal Aid Defense Counsel at the LSA Mandi. And my hobbies include singing. I am very fond of singing, ma'am. That's it.
What kind of songs do you sing? But is there any particular kind of singing you follow?
Ma'am, I am fond of soft music. I like listening and singing old songs like Lata Ji and Muhammad Rafi, and devotional songs and cultural songs as well, ma'am.
Okay. So are there any songs, folk songs of Himachal Pradesh which you are aware of or which you sing, which you practice?
Yes, ma'am. I'm a
Yes. Can you name them?
Ma'am, I had participated in a folk song competition in my school as well as college. So there is a Kangri song, Kapadaya Dhuma Cham Cham Roa Kunjua.
Okay.
And yes, ma'am. There was another one, ma'am. I cannot remember exactly the name, but when I sing, I recall that.
Okay. Do you know about the Samaskara song of HP?
Ma'am, pardon, which song?
Samaskara. There is a famous folk song named Samaskara. Do you have any idea on that?
No, ma'am. Sorry, I'm not aware about this.
Okay, okay. Since Himachal Pradesh has a lot of folk songs, can you tell me uh five types of folk songs which you are aware of? Any five kinds of folk music?
As such, there is no. I'm not aware very much of folk songs because Chamba district, every district wise, these songs are distributed. I am aware of the folk dance, ma'am, not the folk songs much.
No, generally not Himachal Pradesh, but generally folk music has many types, right? There are many genres of folk music. So can you name five genres of folk music or five kinds of folk music? Generally, not specially attached to Himachal Pradesh. It's a general idea of folk music.
No, ma'am.
Okay. Do you know the state which is famous for folk songs? Which
Ma'am,
state is famous for folk songs? Do you know?
ma'am, I cannot recall this at this moment. That which state is really famous for folk songs?
Okay, okay. So now since you like the songs of Muhammad Rafi, right? So can you tell me who was Muhammad Rafi?
Ma'am, I am fond of singing, but I have not delved much into the singers, their background, or I just like singing because it makes me feels alive, ma'am. So Muhammad Rafi, I'm not aware about of it, his background. I am just aware of this fact that he was a very good singer, and he used to sing.
What kind of songs have you come across from Muhammad Rafi? Like what kind of songs has he sung?
Uh, ghazals.
Only ghazals? Any other thing?
And he's also famous for romantic songs and
Right,
ghazals.
right. And you know, in 2001, he was honored with a title. So, can you tell me that title which he was honored with in 2001? Because it was a very um, important title given to him in 2001.
Sorry, ma'am, I'm not aware of this because I have not much delved into the awards and backgrounds and about these singers, ma'am. So I'm not able to recall it at this moment, but I'll definitely study about this, ma'am.
Okay, okay, not at all a problem. Do you know that, has he sung in any other language apart from Hindi and Urdu? Have you any idea about that?
Mm.
Like, which languages have you usually, sung in? Do you have any idea on that?
I have just an idea that he has sung Urdu songs like ghazals and romantic songs. I will again say that I have not much delved into these backgrounds and everything about these singers because I used to listen music just to keep myself refresh, and rest
Hmm.
of the time to study. None. So I have not got much time to go so deep into their backgrounds and awards and other things. So that
Oh,
is.
okay, Shashmita, not an issue. Can you tell me which schedule of constitution deals with languages?
Eighth schedule of the Constitution deals with the languages. Ma'am.
Right. And how many languages have been recognized by our constitution?
As I can recall, I think it's 21 or 22. I cannot exactly recall the number, but
Okay. Initially, how many languages were there? Like from the very start, was it 22 languages?
no, ma'am. From the very start, there were not 22 languages, but subsequently some were added on. And but I cannot exactly recall the number, ma'am. But there were not initially such number of languages, which
How
is now.
many languages were there initially?
I cannot exactly recall the number, but I'm aware of this fact that subsequently some were added into the eighth schedule. Some languages were subsequently added. Ma'am, I cannot exactly recall the exact number that how much there were in the eighth schedule earlier when it was
Okay,
originally.
not okay. Okay. Can you tell me the classical languages, like, languages which have been designated as classical language in our constitution?
No, ma'am. Sorry, I'm not aware of this fact.
Fine. Have you any idea about classical language? What is classical language? Why is a language recognized as classical?
No, ma'am. Sorry, I'm not aware of this fact, but I'll definitely delve into this question, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Does the eighth schedule of constitution consist also, like, English is also included in the eighth schedule?
No,
Is
ma'am.
English included in the eighth schedule?
I'm not very sure on this point, ma'am. So I will consider it better not to answer this, ma'am.
Okay. So talking about the 22 languages uh, in the Indian constitution which have been included in the eighth schedule, do you think India only has 22 languages or any other also?
Ma'am, India is a blend of cultures and religions.
Hmm.
So apart from the scheduled languages which have been uh, included in the eighth schedule, I believe there are many other languages which people speak. There are different dialects even in Himachal. After the area of 10 kilometers, the things change. Like in Mandi we have Mandyali dialect. In Kangra we have Kangri. In Baghal we have Baghi language. So it differs, and I believe that apart from these 22 languages, many other forms of languages are spoken in India.
So keeping in mind the varied languages and varied cultures of people here, do you think that India should have a national language?
Ma'am, as far as my viewpoint is concerned, I do not think that it is any requirement for a national language.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Since uh, you are giving this exam of Himachal Pradesh, and which is your hometown or home
Um,
city? Shweta?
Town Sundarnagar of District Mandi, ma'am.
Mandi, right? So, where does Mandi like? I can see that there are three broad divisions of Himachal Pradesh. Can you tell me those three broad divisions?
Yes, ma'am. There are three divisions. One is Kangda, second is Mandi, and third is Shimla, ma'am.
Okay. And which districts are included and or covered by Mandi?
Ma'am, there are 3 to 4 districts. I cannot exactly recall the name, but ma'am, one is Kullu. Ma'am, I cannot exactly recall the name, but there are 3 to 4 districts which are covered because it's a set of four into three. So I cannot exactly recall the name of the districts which have been included in this division.
Okay. Can you name the 12 districts in Himachal Pradesh? All the districts, can you name them?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there are 12 districts: Chamba,
Hmm.
Kullu, Mandi, Shimla, Sirmaur, Lahaul and Spiti, Hamirpur, Bilaspur, Unna, um, Shimla, Solan.
Okay. And which districts are falling under Mandi? You said 3 to 4.
Yes, ma'am. You asked me previously this question only that
Yeah.
which.
So
So I
which, yeah, so I just want to quick, just drop the hint. What do you think about Mandi division? How many districts are covered under Mandi?
they might be the adjoining ones because, but ma'am, I prefer to remain silent because if I name the wrong ones, it would be a blunder. So I will prefer to remain silent because if I name the wrong districts, I think it would not be right.
Right. Okay. Okay. Can you tell me the largest district of Himachal Pradesh?
Ma'am, Kangra is the largest district of Himachal Pradesh.
Sure.
Uh,
Okay. And the smallest district?
Ma'am, Kangra is the largest district population wise, but area wise it's different. I think it's Lahaul Spiti area wise, and population wise it's Kangra.
Okay.
So,
Yes, I'm talking with respect to area.
ma'am, I think it's Lahaul Spiti area wise.
And smallest?
Smallest, I think it's Bilaspur, but I'm not sure.
Okay. Can you tell me the state flower?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's rhododendron, pink rhododendron.
Right. Correct. And what is the capital city? Which cities are the regarded as the capital city of Himachal Pradesh?
Ma'am, Shimla.
Only?
And there are two capitals. Shimla is the summer capital. The houses sit at two places. The sittings of the house takes place at Dharamshala as well as Shimla. So that in that sense we can call it two.
Why are there two capitals?
Ma'am, capital. Whenever we talk about the capital, we talk about Shimla only. That's what I have studied. So I don't think that there are two capitals because though the sitting of the house takes place at two places, Dharamshala and Shimla. But ma'am, I'm not much sure about this that there are two capitals or something like that.
Okay. Which is the state animal of HP?
Ma'am, snow leopard.
Do you know the name of the person who named this area as Himachal?
No, ma'am. I am not aware of this fact.
Okay. Who was the founder of Himachal Pradesh?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of this fact.
Okay. Can you name the state bird?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, it's Western Tragopan.
Correct. Now, since which hills are called Himachal? Have you gone through the geography? Which hills are called Himachal? There are greater Himalayas and there are lesser Himalayas. So which hills are forming Himachal?
Ma'am, the Kangra area falls in the Shivalik Hills, ma'am, the lower Himalayas. And ma'am, there is demarcation in Himachal, like some area falls in the middle Himalayas, some in greater. Ma'am, I'm not very much aware of this, but I am sure that the area of Kangra and Dharamshala, it falls in the Shivaliks.
Okay, okay. And which is the longest mountain range of Himachal Pradesh?
Ma'am, this one, which falls in the Dharamshala area, Kangra and Dharamshala area, that is the longest mountain range, ma'am.
Name?
Ma'am, I'm not able to recall, but I definitely study it and delve into it. That's the name of this mountain range.
Okay, okay, not an issue. Now, can you tell me three things in the present time which you feel will enter history later?
Ma'am, in which sense, like in Himachal, or
No, a general sense.
I'm not able to get your question. Like,
Any three things which you feel should enter history or will be entering history. You know, it will be entering history later. Our future generation will be reading about that, which we are facing in the present era.
okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I think the climate crisis. This is the thing which
They will have a greater climate crisis at that time.
ma'am, I'm not able to answer this question that which things should enter history because I'm not able to understand exactly the question. So,
Okay, okay. No issues. Can you tell me about the current ongoing situation in Israel and Palestine? What do you know about it?
yes, ma'am. Ma'am, on October 7, 2023, it's a very old problem actually. It's nothing new because there have been conflicts between Israel and Palestine since the time of, I don't remember, but it's a very old conflict. And the Hamas, they they, ma'am, can I speak in Hindi?
Yes, yes, you can.
अक्टूबर 7 अक्टूबर 2023 को इसराइल के ऊपर हमास ने 5,000 मिसाइल्स दागी थी और उस दिन उनका कुछ बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट रिलीजियस फेस्टिवल था 7 अक्टूबर को एंड दैट डे इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर देम उस दिन हमास हैज बीन डेजिग्नेटेड एज एन टेररिस्ट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन तो मैम जो करंटली इशू चल रहा है उसका ओरिजिन 7 अक्टूबर को हुआ था बट उसकी हिस्ट्री बहुत पुरानी है तो उस दिन जब ये हुआ तो इसराइल डिक्लेयर्ड वॉर विद हमास एंड सिंस दैट डे टिल टुडे the issue is going on like current they are continuously at a situation of war.
Okay,
And
and do you know the reason of conflict, the main reason, like which
yes,
started
ma'am.
from the very beginning? What is their conflict or dispute?
Ma'am, the conflict is regarding the area. Ma'am, it's a religious. It has religious roots actually. Uh, the problem is between the Jews, the Muslims and Christians because there is a religious area which is very important for these religions. The Muslims, it's Jerusalem, ma'am, because
Okay.
it's important for these three
And
religions.
that is the only conflict between
Yes,
them?
of conflict for which they have been fighting since ages now, and
Okay,
it has evolved till date.
okay. Do you know about the Chandrayaan mission?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I'm aware of this.
Yes. So, who launched Chandrayaan 3?
Ma'am, ISRO launched the Chandrayaan 3,
What is the full form of ISRO?
Indian Space Research Organization now.
When was Chandrayaan 3 launched?
Ma'am, I do not exactly remember the date, but it was in August, September. Ma'am, I do not exactly remember the date, but it was a few months back only, 2 months back. But
Okay.
I'll definitely study about it, ma'am.
Chandrayaan had a lander and a rover. Can you name the lander and rover of Chandrayaan?
Ma'am, I'm not exactly able to recall their names, but I had studied. It just slipped out of my mind. I'm not able to recall it at this moment, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so it's all from my side right now. I'll come back to you, Sushmita. Sir, over to you.
Okay, thank you for those.
Thank you, sir.
So, Sushmita, just give me a few seconds, okay? Just give me a few seconds. Yes, so Sushmita, as you belong to Mandi and your native village is, I think, Mahadev. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so why the name of your village is because of the name of God Mahadev?
Sir, I have a temple in my village, which was made by Pandavas, the Mahadev temple. So it's on the name of that temple, which is very ancient, and uh, due to that, sir, the name of my village is Mahadev,
Okay,
as far as I know, sir.
okay. Sushmita, as why the name of Mandi is being there and what is the old name of Mandi? Are you aware of it?
सर एक रियासत थी मांडव रियासत, तो उसके
Hmm.
बाद इसका वंश हुआ था, मांडव से मंडी बना था सर।
Okay.
तो सर
So earlier it was Mandavnagar.
यस सर।
Okay. So my next question to you is like there was a area which is called as Suket.
यस
सुकेत का
सर।
एक एरिया था सो मंडी जो है वो सुकेत से अलग कब हुआ था आर यू अवेयर
मुझे
ऑफ इट
सर मुझे एग्जैक्टली डेट याद नहीं है, बिकॉज आई एम नॉट वेरी मच गुड विद हिस्ट्री एंड फिगर्स। सो
ओके ओके सो सुष्मिता बच्चे you just tell me that there is a very famous institute in district Mandi and what is the name of that institute
सर रिगार्डिंग विच फील्ड आई एम अवेयर
with
ऑफ द
respect to with respect
आई
to engineering
yes sir. Sir, there is IIT, Indian Institute of Technology at Command,
okay
IIT Mandi.
and this IIT Mandi is at which number? Like when this IIT Mandi is being there?
So when it came into existence,
Yes, yes, when it came into existence.
in the year 2009 or 10, as far as I can recall.
Okay, okay. So, Sushmita, as currently you are there from Sundarnagar, am I right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in Sundarnagar, which two rivers are there?
So exactly, it's not river, but we have one BSL link. मतलब नहर बहती है सर हमारे सुंदरनगर में, उसको हम BSL लिंक का कहते हैं। और सर एक सुकेती खड्ड है।
Okay, so दी ये जो आपने खड्ड की बात की, ये किस मेन रिवर का एक पार्ट है?
जहाँ तक
ट्रिब्यूटरी हम कहते हैं।
सर मुझे इतना नॉलेज नहीं है, बट ये ये कहते हैं कि ये बहुत पुरानी खड्ड है, और सुकेती खड्ड से बाकी और जो छोटे छोटे नाले या कुछ ऐसे निकले वो इसी से निकले। और ये सर मुझे नहीं पता इसके बारे में कि
Okay. सुष्मिता, my next question to you is that आपके रीजन में एक बहुत फेमस मंदिर है माता का मंदिर है आप उस माता के मंदिर के नाम जानते हैं
सर मेरे एरिया में बहुत सारे मंदिर है माता के, मतलब मंडी की बात करें सर।
आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट सुंदरनगर एंड मंडी रीजन सो हाटेश्वरी टेम्पल आर यू अवेयर
यस सर।
so for what Hateshwari temple is famous for any
सर
specific reason behind that
सर मुझे इतना पता है कि वो महाकाली का मंदिर है। but sir, it has some relation to the time of Pandavas as far I can recall. Sir, उनका उससे relation है, but मुझे exactly याद नहीं.
Okay, okay. So, Sushmita, as what is the relationship of the Pandavas with the Mandi region?
सर जब अज्ञातवास में पांडव गए थे तो मंडी के जैसे करसोग का सर एरिया है, ऐसा कहा जाता है कि करसोग के एरिया में वो बहुत टाइम रहे थे। और सर जो एक खटोटखच जी का जब अम, सर धड़ से अलग हुआ था तो उनका धड़ कहीं और रखा गया और सर कहीं और रखा गया। तो एक टेम्पल ऐसा है जहाँ पर उनका कोई बॉडी का पार्ट है, सर आई डोंट रिमेम्बर एग्जैक्टली दी, मतलब कि धड़ है कि उनका सर है, बट आई हैव नॉलेज अबाउट दिस कि कुछ घटोत्कच से भी रिलेशन था। और सर काफी चीजें यहाँ पे अज्ञातवास में जब वो पांडव आए थे यहाँ पर, तो उन्होंने बहुत सारे टेम्पल्स की स्थापना की और वो यहाँ पर रहे बहुत समय। तो सर इस रिलेशन है पांडवों का हमारे हिमाचल से।
ओके। सुष्मिता, एज आई एम लुकिंग योर फॉर्म, तो आपने अपना 10th जो है वो साइंस आपका मतलब 95% यू हैव स्कोर्ड है ना? And thereafter, in 12th also, you were a science student. You were there in non-medicals. So, and in the science also, you had secured 92%. And after that, you had joined LLB. So, why you had not gone for the engineering?
Sir, I never wanted to be an engineer because in my time, engineering, everyone wanted to be an engineer. So in the age of like when I passed 12th, and so in class 10th also, I had thought that I would do law because I wanted to be a civil servant, and I opted science because there was no other subject in my locality from a good school. Like there were only arts. I didn't want to study in government school, sir. So that was the reason I opted science because I wanted to be a Saint Marian till 12th. So, sir, law was the only reason that I thought at that time that being doing something professional, a degree which would be professional, would be a better option than doing a simple BSc or BA or engineering. I never had a better mind towards engineering, sir.
So it means that when you were there in your plus one and plus two, you were not very clear that what to do with this particular science subject.
No, sir. Sir, this is not the thing. I believe that science has contributed towards my growth and development in many respects because being a science student has contributed to my growth as a person and as has given me an analytical point of view, analytical thinking.
Okay. So
And maybe,
as you, okay, so one thing you are saying that the science has contributed you in your personal development, है ना? And you're a kind of an analytical person. So what you are, what you think about that if you are being selected as a civil judge, how the science is going to help you out?
so as I said, that science has given me an analytical point of view that I have a tendency of going into why of everything. That
Okay.
even if a person, like even if I shiver, that why what is this, why am I shivering, why is my body like, so say that way, analytical thinking, going into why of each question. And this will contribute by so in this sense that delving much into the deep into the things, going into the background,
Okay.
everything. So
Sushmita,
for the deep insight.
okay. Sushmita, you speak Malayalam also?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if I give you a sentence that आप कहाँ जा रहे हो, so how you will speak this in Malayalam?
Yes, sir. I'll say, uh, "तू से केथी चली रे?"
Okay. And any other local dialect of Himachal for which you are aware?
Yes, sir. So I am aware of Kangri because many of my relatives are from Kamra district and Hamirpur also, but
Okay.
much aware of Kangri language, sir.
Okay. Susmita, as you stated that yes, there are 12 districts in Himachal. How many districts you had visited, if any, you can name, and which places you had visited,
Sir, I have visited Bilaspur, Hamirpur, Kangra, my
and which
home.
places of these particular districts?
They're only religious places. Like I'm not much aware of traveling, much fond of traveling, but I used to visit with my parents for some ceremony or occasionally because my parents are also not much fond of traveling. So we have not much traveled much.
Okay, so as you stated, you had visited to Bilaspur, Hamirpur, and Kangra, and in Mandi. Had you ever visited Kullu Manali, Shimla?
Then I've never visited Kullu Manali for the purpose of traveling. I'm not very much fond, and neither my parents, so we never used to go for trips and travel. So I didn't visit, sir. So once I used to visit the temple at Bijli Mahadev or with my parents at Kullu. So
Okay.
that way.
So, what is the significance of Bijli Mahadev? Are you aware?
यस सर सर आई एम अवेयर ऑफ दिस फैक्ट सर वहां पर एक शिवलिंग है तो जब वहां पे लाइटनिंग मतलब मतलब उनका ही एक सिग्निफिकेंस है कि वहां पर लाइटनिंग होती है बहुत वो हाइट पे है बहुत ज्यादा ऐसे एंगल पे है कि लाइट जो बिजली पड़ती है तो सीधे एक ऐसे एंगल पे पड़ती है तो महादेव का जो वहां पर शिवलिंग है उसके ऊपर सर वो बिजली पड़ती है और वो दो भागों में टूट जाता है और जब उसको माखन से उसको लेप करते हैं तो वो इकट्ठा जुड़ जाता है सर ये स्पेशलिटी है वहां की
And do you think that it is scientific?
सर science is silent on these things and I am too silent on these things that how it can happen but sir it does happen.
Okay. So, Sushmita, as your father is also a retired principal, and probably I believe that he's from a government school or
See.
okay. So you stated that you don't want to go into the government schools during your plus one and plus two because in the school which you are reading in that particular school only the science was there, so you opted for science and you don't want to go into the government school. So my two questions will be there that your father is serving as a principal in the government school and Mm, why you are not ready to go in that particular school in that particular area where your principal your father is himself a principal.
Sir, my father was a Sanskrit lecturer of Sanskrit. So the reason for not going into the government school because the it was the scenario which I witnessed in because sir my home is very near to a government school in my locality. महादेव स्कूल के पास ही बिल्कुल सर मेरा घर है तो मैंने बचपन से जो सिनारियो देखा था स्कूल का मैं ये देखती थी कि वहां पे दीवार के बाहर लड़के खड़े होते थे और अंदर से लड़कियां झांक रही होती थी तो उनकी मतलब सर उनकी आपस में बातचीत और ये चीजें सर मैं देखकर बड़ी हुई मतलब पता नहीं मेरा विश्वास सा नहीं रहा सर गवर्नमेंट स्कूल पर मेरे पेरेंट्स ने कोशिश मतलब मैंने जिद मुझे डाला था सर गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में बहुत बचपन में जो मुझे पेरेंट्स बताते हैं कि 4 साल की उम्र में मुझे डाला था हमने लेकिन मैंने जिद की कि मैंने नहीं पढ़ना यहाँ पे मैं अभी तो सर मेरे पेरेंट्स मुझे बताते हैं ये स्टोरीज बचपन की तो मुझे याद नहीं है बट वो कहते थे कि तू रोने लग गई थी और तूने बोला कि मुझे नहीं पढ़ना है स्कूल में यहाँ गंदा पढ़ाते हैं और दैट वाज द स्टोरी.
Okay, okay. So as you said that the boys are standing outside and they are looking at the girls and they are having communication to each other. Now, do it is an offense under Indian Penal Code.
Looking at each other and talking is not an offense in the Indian Penal Code anywhere, sir.
Okay. So if there is any obscene act which is there in the public, do it is a punishable offense.
Yes, sir. So section
Under which
290,
under which
yeah,
section?
292 IPC. Obscenity talks about obscenity, sir.
And with respect to section 292, any English case which is associated with this?
Yes, sir. So R versus Ickling.
Versus Nickling. Okay. Okay. So, Sushmita, now I will be taking you to the law question. My first question to you is that what you understand by the word garnishi order?
Okay. Sir, Ganeshi is a judgment debtor's debtor. So Ganeshi order basically it's in section 46A to 46I of CPC. I couldn't exactly remember the section, sir, but Ganeshi is a person who is a judgment debtor's debtor. तो सर जजमेंट डेटर एग्जीक्यूशन के दौरान पैसा नहीं दे पा रहा होता, तो एक कोर्ट एक ऑर्डर निकालती है कि जो पैसा उसके डेटर ने उसको देना था वो कोर्ट में जमा करवाए. तो सर दैट इज द गानिशी ऑर्डर.
Okay. Do it is in section or it is in any order of the CPC?
Sorry, sir. It's Order 21, Rule 46. Sir, exactly, cannot remember, but it's somewhere 46A. I think it's Order 21, Rule 46.
Sushmita, you just tell me one thing that if you are presiding as the civil judge in the court and any XYZ person files a caveat in your court. Now, once the caveat is there, what are the responsibilities of a judicial officer?
Sir, basically, caveat is a notice, a warning to the court. It's basically a warning when a person lodges a caveat. Uh, a court has to inform that person that the caveator that so basically a notice has to be given to him. This is
Mhm.
what it's called.
Now, what kind of notice or what the court is communicating to the caveator?
तो कैवियाट में वो ये बताता है कि मुझे सुने बिना किसी एप्लीकेशन पे सुनवाई ना की जाए, मेरा इंटरेस्ट भी इन्वॉल्व है इसमें, तो मुझे भी सुना जाए. तो बेसिकली उस सेंस में सर कोर्ट उसको इन्फॉर्म करता है कि ऐसी ऐसी एप्लीकेशन कोई आई है, तो सर उस सेंस में वो अपने आप को रिप्रेजेंट करता है फिर.
And do any time limit is there for the caveat?
यस सर. सर इट
Then how?
9.
90 days. Okay. Sushmita, what you understand by the term functus officio? Functus officio. My question is, what you understand by the term functus officio?
सर माइक आवाज क्लियर नहीं आ रही.
मेरा सवाल आपसे है कि functus officio से आप क्या समझते
ओके ओके सर. फंक्टस ऑफिशियो सर.
हैं? Yes. Yes.
सर what I have studied, that when a judgment is by virtue of the office, functus officio means by virtue of the office.
Mhm.
Like I have studied that once a judgment is pronounced, it becomes functus officio. I can recall these words with that sentence.
Okay. And what will be the impact of this doctrine?
Sir, I'm not able to recall this at this moment.
Okay. Okay. Sushmita, there is a concept which is called as the concept of deemed decree. Deemed
Yes, sir.
decree. Under which provisions of CPC the concept of deemed decree is?
Yes, sir. Sir, it's in section 2, subclause 2 of the Code of Civil Procedure. In the definition section itself, there is a concept of deemed decree.
And which orders will be considered to be the deemed decree?
Sir, sorry, I'm not able to recall this at this moment.
Okay. Sushmita, as you are currently serving as a legal aid defense counsel, so what kind of job assignments are there given to you?
Sir, I have been entrusted with the front office duties. We have a front office at the LSA in the court itself. So this is the first assignment. The other assignment is we have to visit the jail, the legal aid clinic at jail. The other assignment is I have to do the legal aid awareness camps. And sir, case duties are there as a part of our duty, which we are assigned by our chief. And sir, we have to manage the juvenile justice board. We have to attend the juvenile justice board whenever it is like conducted in the court weekly. So this is the job.
Okay. So in the front office, what kind of things you have to do?
So there are various types of people. Like front office is basically we give legal advice and we do counseling of people. They visit the front office, and most of all the protection officers. They come with the domestic violence victims, ladies. So many type of people visit, and mostly we make applications for providing free legal aid there. So this is the main thing we do.
Okay. Okay. So as you stated that you have to work with respect to the juvenile justice board also. Okay. So my question is that in Himachal, what kind of offenses are there which are being committed by the juveniles?
Sir, I will comment only on what I have witnessed, sir.
Mhm.
So I have witnessed the theft cases because I visited the juvenile justice board when duties were assigned to me. Used to happen to handle only so 3 to 4 cases. There, all of them were theft cases, sir.
And as you stated, you have certain case duties also. Can you please elaborate this? What are case duties?
So duties in what sense, sir? It's assigned by the chief.
Yes, yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, these duties involve the case assignments. Like we are like we have get some cases, people apply at the front office, or applications come from the jail for getting free legal aid, because since we are defense counsel, so we stand parallel to the prosecution for the legal
Okay.
aid case. Our chief assigns us cases, magistrate tribal cases.
Okay. So primarily your duty is with respect to the providing of free legal aid to the victims, as well as the apart from the other things which are associated with this only. But you people are not going to take up the trial in a particular matter.
No, sir, I meant by assignment of cases, the trial only. Like case, sir, there are several stages, right? So, the case which was assigned to me, some cases were on trial stage, some were very initial, like
So,
consideration.
so, so you
So
people
that,
go through with the recording of the evidences also.
yes, sir.
Okay. My question to you is that if during the pendency of the proceedings, the accused has absconded. Now, do a judicial magistrate have the competency to record the statement of the witnesses in the absence of the accused person?
Yes, sir. So there is a provision regarding this in the Code of Criminal Procedure, Section 299,
Mhm.
which talks about recording of evidence in the absence of the accused person. But it spells out that there are certain circumstances when there are no prospects of him being found. There are some, so I cannot exactly recall the language of the section, but there is a provision regarding this.
Okay, okay. So let us assume that you are a magistrate, and you find that okay, the accused is absconded or he is unknown, and we should proceed further for recording of the evidences. And you call up the prosecution and you say that okay, you can go for the recording of the evidences, though in the absence of the accused. So, if in future subsequently the accused got arrested, then what will be the next step you will be taking? आप मेरा सवाल समझ रहे हैं?
सवाल सर मैं एग्जैक्टली रिकॉल नहीं कर पा रही कि इसमें नेक्स्ट स्टेप क्या होना चाहिए.
Okay. So, do you are going to call the witnesses again in the presence of the accused? Again, their testimony will be recorded, or you will not be calling such persons again in the court of law?
So they can be recalled in the court of law when the accused is arrested.
They can be or they should be.
So I'm not sure about this.
Okay. Okay. Susmita, just tell me something about tender of pardon.
Okay. So when a accused person he agrees to become a prosecution witness, insert सेक्शन 306 और 7 इससे डील करता है सीआरपीसी का टेंडर ऑफ पार्टी जो अक्यूज्ड होता है वो प्रोसिक्यूशन विटनेस बन जाता है इसमें कि आई विल डिपोज एंड आई विल टेल अबाउट मतलब जो भी चीजें उसका अपना इन्वॉल्वमेंट जो भी क्राइम का औरों का इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहा उसके साथियों का तो सर वो एक तरह से विटनेस बन जाता है प्रोसिक्यूशन का
ठीक है. And if the concept of section 306 is to be applied, तो ये कौन से कैटेगरी के केसेस में अप्लाई होगा?
सर ये सेक्शन 306 और 7 में ही लिखा है सर एग्जैक्टली आई कैन नॉट रिकॉल द टाइप ऑफ ऑफेंसेस बट देयर इज इट इज स्पेसिफाइड देयर ओनली दैट फॉर
Okay.
व्हिच ऑफेंस कैन बी डन
Okay. So let us assume that you are a judicial magistrate and you tendered pardon to one of the accused person. Reason being, that person is willing to be the government approver. Okay. And at the time when that person started giving statement before you, public prosecutor states to you that this person is not disclosing the complete facts of the case. Now, what you will be doing in such kind of a situation?
So this is also stated in the CRPC itself. So the succeeding sections. सर अगर वो झूठ कहता है तो उसके ऊपर एक मुकदमा चलाया जा सकता है उसी के रिगार्डिंग
Okay.
यस सर
And do the trial of that person will be combined with the trial of others, or there will be the separate trial?
सेपरेट ट्रायल
There will be separate trial. Okay. Sushmita, my next question to you is that uh, on what grounds the public prosecutor can withdraw the prosecution?
So withdrawal of prosecution, sir, I can recall that it's mentioned in 321 CRPC, and sir, I can recall that only the public prosecutor has the authority, but I cannot recall exactly the grounds because it's also mentioned in that section only. But exactly, I cannot
Okay. Okay. Sushmita,
to my knowledge.
just give me a particular subject of your interest. I will be putting only 5 questions from that particular subject.
Yes, sir. Sir, Indian Evidence Act, sir.
So, with respect to the Indian Evidence Act, my first question to you is that if during the uh, recording of the witness's statement in the court of law, the contradiction is required to be done. Okay, with contradiction of the witness statement is required to be done. What is the process of contradiction?
So previous writing contradiction can be done by previous statements.
Okay, and do for contradiction we have to show that previous statement to the other person, or without showing that particular statement we can go for the contradiction?
So if it if it in that person's handwriting, it has to be shown. If a contradiction is to be done by the handwriting, in that case
Okay,
only it has to be shown, sir.
okay. And any provision with respect to this?
The 145 of Indian Evidence Act.
Okay, okay. So, Shweta, my next question to you is that if during the examination of the witnesses in your particular court, you find that the counsel is asking indecent questions or scandalous questions to the witnesses, what you can do?
Yes, sir. So the court is empowered in that case that uh, indecent and scandalous questions are not to be put to the witness. The court can intervene by virtue of Section 151 of the Indian Evidence Act, sir.
Okay. And do you can make a complaint against such particular counsel?
Yes, sir. So when persistently one a person is putting scandalous and indecent questions, and the presiding officer is again and again asking him to not do that, he can, in that case of non-compliance of the request of the court, he can put
Hmm.
a complaint to the concerned, sir, like bar council.
Okay. And do the complaint can be there to the High Court also?
Sir, about High Court, I'm not sure, but I'm very sure about the bar council, concerned bar council.
Okay. Okay. Sushmita, my third question to you is from Evidence Act that in what scenario a concerned person will be allowed to refresh his memory?
So in what scenario the refreshing
If
memory
a
is allowed?
yes, if a witness want to refresh his memory, what should be the approach of the court and how he can refresh his memory?
So a person can refresh his memory by referring to the previous writings made by him at that moment, like section. So whatever previous writings have been made by him, and the court, like he has a right to refresh his memory by referring to the previous writings. So.
Okay. Okay. My fourth question to you is, what is the difference between burden of proof and onus of proof?
Yes, sir. So burden of proof basically the burden of proof is of two types: burden of proof as a principle, and burden of the other one is shifting burden of proof. The section 101 of the Indian Evidence Act, it specifically talks about the burden of proof and it never shifts. Like, as a matter of principle, the burden of proof in criminal cases, sir, it lies on the prosecution to prove the guilt of the accused beyond reasonable doubt. And onus of proof, it always shifts. The burden of proof never shifts. So this is the major difference because
Sushmita, my last question on Evidence Act is that whenever any presumption is raised in the court of law with respect to a particular thing, then how the court is going to take up the presumption? Do we have any provision in the Evidence Act regarding to this?
yes, sir. So we have a provision in the Evidence Act, section 4. Sir, it talks about three types of presumptions: may presume, shall presume, and conclusive proof. And there are separate provisions in the Indian Evidence Act which talks about the different kinds of presumptions. So in that
Okay,
sense.
okay. And with respect to the conclusive proof, how many sections are there in Evidence Act which deals with the conclusive proof?
Yes, sir. So there are three sections. Section 112, 41, and 113. 113, sir.
Okay. So what is there in 113?
So it talks about the proof of cession of territory.
Proof of the accession of territory. Okay, okay. Do it is very much prevalent?
No, sir, it's not very much prevalent, but it's a conclusive proof, sir. So I know only this much that.
Okay, 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 okay. Good enough, good enough. So Sushmita, I think we are done with the session for today. ठीक है, अभी आते हैं आज के फीडबैक पे. ठीक है, पहले तो as Firdaus ma'am has asked you several questions with respect to your hobby. तो वहाँ पे most of the answers were I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, है ना? तो उसपे दो she was grilling you, though she was grilling you, but yes, if you are not aware, don't try to bluff, है ना? वो आपने वैसे ही किया, उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. But apart from that, there are certain things जो आपने बीच बीच में गलत गलत भी कही. जैसे कि माउंटेन्स को लेके मैम ने एक सवाल पूछा था.
Yes,
ठीक
sir,
है,
Google.
सो यू वर फॉरगेटिंग अबाउट धौलाधार रेंज इन हिमाचल. ठीक है, सो धर्मशाला एंड कांगड़ा रीजन इज बेसिकली देयर इन द धौलाधार रेंज, और उसके साथ साथ फिर शिवालिक रेंज लोअर एंड पे चलती है. जो आपका ये बिलासपुर और ऊना का रीजन है, ये शिवालिक रेंज में आ जाता है. ठीक है, तो उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा वैसे तो सवाल पूछे भी जा सकते हैं, ऐसी कोई बहुत बड़ी बात नहीं है, बट अगर बिल्कुल भी नहीं आता तो यू शुड ट्राई टू स्किप दैट. क्योंकि वो अगर आप यहाँ पे धर्मशाला और कांगड़ा के रीजन में धौलाधार का नाम आप ना लें तो फिर दिक्कत वाली बात हो जाती। ठीक है, सो दैट वन थिंग आई गॉट टू नो। बाकी दूसरा, आप बच्चे मंडी से हो और मंडी के 5 जिले, ये तो बताने ही थे। मंडी डिवीजन के देयर आर 5 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स है ना, बिलासपुर, हमीरपुर, ये कुल्लू, लाहौल स्पीति इज देयर है ना, तो उनको आप कैसे भूल गए? एंड अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, मतलब आपके 5 जिले आ गए ना, मंडी की डिवीजन सबसे बड़ी है, तो मंडी डिस्ट्रिक्ट इज देयर, Kullu is there, Lahaul Spiti is there, this Hamirpur and Bilaspur is also there in the Mandi division only. ठीक है, इसके साथ साथ the questions which were there with respect to your personal things, so you were good in that. I don't find any problem in that. ये ठीक था, मतलब आपने महादेव गांव का नाम क्यों है वो भी ठीक बता दिया। सुंदरनगर से रिलेटेड कुछ सवाल मैंने पूछे आपको, आपने वो भी बता दिए। ठीक है, और इससे रिलेटेड बिजली महादेव से रिलेटेड आपसे अगर सवाल पूछा जाएगा, बिकॉज अगर आपसे पूछा जाता है कि आप कहाँ कहाँ विजिट किए हो, तो डेफिनेटली यू हैव टू गिव द आंसर टू दैट। फंक्शंस ऑफ रेशियो पे बच्चे आपका आंसर नहीं मिला मुझे, है ना। फंक्शंस ऑफ रेशियो बेसिकली मीन व्हाट, that once the court has passed the judgment, now the court cannot reopen the case himself। ठीक है, कोर्ट अपने आप केस नहीं खोल सकता, बट ओनली 2 एक्सेप्शंस आर देयर, दैट इज सेक्शन 152, जिसमें आप अर्थमेटिकल और क्लेरिकल मिस्टेक्स को ठीक कर लेते हो, एंड द अदर ऑप्शन यू आर हैविंग कि अगर आपकी कोर्ट में रिव्यू एप्लीकेशन फाइल हो गया है, so if the review is there, then you can go for the reopening of the case. But functions of issue means once the court has passed the judgment, the same court cannot reopen the case now। ठीक है, आप दोबारा केस को ओपन नहीं कर सकते। दैट इज the you are not having such official authority, but yes, you are having 2 exceptions to that, that is 152 of CPC, and apart from that अगर review application केस आ जाए तो you can go for that। गार्निशी ऑर्डर पे थोड़ा सा सेक्शन भूल गए, सेक्शन 46, वो छोटी छोटी गलतियां हैं जो नहीं करनी है। ठीक है, और कुछ बाकी तो मेरे ख्याल से एविडेंस पे आई हैड आस्क्ड यू क्वेश्चंस, तो ठीक है, लेकिन कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन पे बच्चे फिर गलती। कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन में सेक्शन 149 स्टेट्स व्हाट, 2 चीजें बताता है ना, वन इज द क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन। सो व्हेनेवर यू आर पुटिंग एनी क्रॉस क्वेश्चन टू अ पर्सन, फ्रॉम वेयर यू आर आस्किंग द क्वेश्चन, इट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल दैट पर्सन कि आप उसको कहां से सवाल पूछ रहे हो। जैसे मान लो एक ट्रायल कोर्ट के अंदर प्रोसिक्यूशन के विटनेस का टेस्टिमनी रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है, ठीक है, ऑपोजिट पार्टी क्रॉस करने आई और क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन के दौरान उसको एफआईआर में से सवाल पूछा गया, क्योंकि एफआईआर से आप सवाल पूछ सकते हो, उससे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, वो 162 से रिस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं होती है। तो एफआईआर से अगर सवाल पूछा जा रहा है क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन के दौरान, आप पूछ सकते हो, बिकॉज दैट इज द स्टेटमेंट ऑफ दैट पर्सन, इन्फॉर्मेंट का ही वो स्टेटमेंट है, उसी की प्रीवियस स्टेटमेंट के बेसिस पे उसको क्रॉस एग्जामिन कर रहे हैं। लेकिन क्रॉस एग्जामिनेशन करते समय आपको बताना नहीं होता कि आप सवाल कहां से पूछ रहे हो। लेकिन कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन जब भी होगा तो आपको उस व्यक्ति की प्रीवियस राइटिंग उसको दिखानी पड़ेगी। ठीक है, तो जैसे मान लो उसने एफआईआर में कुछ और लिखवाया और कोर्ट के सामने कुछ और लिखवा रहा है, तो पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर या जो भी डिफेंस काउंसिल है जब उसको क्रॉस कर रहे हैं, कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर रहे हैं, तो पब्लिक प्रोसिक्यूटर तो कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट तब करेंगे अगर वो विटनेस हॉस्टाइल हो गया, और ऑपोजिट पार्टी तो कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट कर ही सकती है। तो इफ ही इज मेकिंग इनकंसिस्टेंट स्टेटमेंट, तो यू हैव टू शो द प्रीवियस स्टेटमेंट टू दैट पर्सन, तो उसको दिखाना ही पड़ेगा, बिना दिखाए कॉन्ट्राडिक्शन नहीं हो सकता। ठीक है, इसका आपने ध्यान रखना है। बाकी मेरे ख्याल से तो एविडेंस पे जो बाकी हमने सवाल पूछे, यू आर गुड इन दैट। 299 से बच्चे फिर गलती आपकी हुई। 299 में कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है कि जनरली एक सेक्शन 273 के अंदर रूल है ना हमारा, that all the statements will be recorded in the presence of the accused person। 273 में लिखा है, बट 273 की एक्सेप्शन है, except as otherwise provided, वो exception 299 है, and 299 states what, that if you find that okay the accused is absconded, but अगर witnesses का statement record नहीं किया, so we might be losing something, तो आप उनके absence में ही witnesses की statement record करवा लेते। Now let us assume that the moment accused is arrested, the witnesses can still come to the court। तो उन विटनेसेस की स्टेटमेंट दोबारा से accused के सामने हम रिकॉर्ड करवाते हैं, बिकॉज 273 को हमें फॉलो करना है। बट लेट अस अज्यूम कि जिस टाइम पे accused अरेस्ट हुआ तो उस समय वो विटनेसेस जो थे दे कैन नॉट कम टू द कोर्ट, या तो वो इनकैपेबल है एविडेंस देने को, या किसी की डेथ हो गई है एटसेट्रा। उसने जो पुराना स्टेटमेंट दिया था दैट कैन बी यूज्ड अगेंस्ट द एक्यूज्ड पर्सन। तो वो एक कॉन्सेप्ट है जो 299 के अंदर आप मिस कर रहे थे। ठीक है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट बाकी अब पूछो। मैंने तो बता दिया, अब आप पूछो, कुछ पूछना है तो।
सर मुझे पूछना नहीं, मुझे ये बताना है कि मैंने बिना पढ़े सारा कुछ दिया है, क्योंकि मैं
हाँ
पढ़ ऑफिस में थी सर। आज आज से छुट्टी ली थी मैं, और
ठीक
कल
है।
वो नाम आ गया था, तो सर मैं पढ़ ही नहीं पाई बिल्कुल भी, क्योंकि मैंने रिवाइज नहीं किया जब से मेंस
ठीक है।
ऑफिस रिज्यूम कर लिया था। तो सर जो भी मतलब एक भी क्वेश्चन ऐसा जो मुझसे पूछा गया वो पहले का ही पढ़ा हुआ था सब,
हाँ
तो मैं
ठीक ठीक
कर
ठीक है।
सकती थी अगर
ठीक है
मैंने।
अभी, हाँ बचे अभी बस एक काम करना, अभी यू हैव टाइम है ना, आज 23rd है और आपके पास भी 4 दिन है। ठीक है, प्रोसीजरल लॉ को तो अच्छे से ब्रश कर लें, खासकर एविडेंस को, क्योंकि आप एविडेंस बोलने वाले हो, वो निकल जाएगा आपके मुंह से, है ना, वहां पे निकल ही जाएगा कि सर एविडेंस है। ठीक है, तो एविडेंस का थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखना। ठीक है कि इसको अच्छे से एक बार रिवाइज कर लो। और सीआरपीसी के या आईपीसी के, वैसे आईपीसी के प्रोविजंस यू आर गुड अवेयर ऑफ दैट। ठीक है, सीआरपीसी में थोड़ी सी ब्रशिंग की भी जरूरत है, उसको जस्ट हैव अ क्विक रिवीजन ऑन दैट। सारा कुछ नहीं पढ़ना, लेकिन ब्रॉडर जो मेन एरिया है उसको एक बार अच्छे से रिवाइज कर ले, क्योंकि यहाँ से क्वेश्चन पूछे जाते हैं। ठीक है, दे माइट बी आस्किंग यू क्वेश्चन, बिकॉज आपका फील्ड भी क्रिमिनल वाला है ना, you are also working as legal aid defense counsel, so they might be putting you questions from IPC, CRPC and evidence। यहाँ से सवाल आने की ज्यादा संभावना मुझे लग रही है। बाकी जीके में तो देखो, आप अगर कुछ आंसर ना भी दे पाओ तो कोई बहुत बड़ा उसका इम्पैक्ट नहीं होता है। इट इज ऑल अबाउट पर्सनैलिटी टेस्ट। तो इफ यू आर मेंटेनिंग योर कॉन्फिडेंस फ्रॉम राइट टू द एंड, ठीक है, और बिल्कुल भी आप घबरा नहीं रहे हो, अगर आंसर नहीं भी आ रहे देन स्टिल यू आर मेंटेनिंग द कॉन्फिडेंस, तो वो आपके प्लस पॉइंट में ही जाएगा। आंसर जरूरी नहीं है कि सारे आंसर आपको आते ही। ठीक है, और अभी मैंने जो हमने कल भी मेंटरशिप सेशन लिया था, उसमें भी मैंने कुछ एक चीजें बताई थी, उसके ऊपर थोड़ा सा काम करके रखना। दे माइट बी पुटिंग सच क्वेश्चंस, बिकॉज क्वेश्चंस की तो कुछ सीमा नहीं है ना, दे माइट बी पुटिंग यू क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम एनीवेयर। ठीक है, तो सुंदरनगर मंडी, मंडी के थोड़े आसपास का एरिया, इसके बारे में ध्यान रखना। मैंने कोशिश की आज आपको वहां से सवाल पूछने की, ज्यादातर चीजें मुझे आंसर में मिल गई। ठीक है, ज्यादातर तो मिल गया। और जो नहीं दे पा रहे हो वो बहुत ऐसा है कि एक्सेप्शनल व्यक्ति ही दे पाएगा। ठीक है, वो अगर बहुत कुछ ही पढ़ के आया है, और दैट इज द पॉइंट कि वन थिंग इज यू आर गेटिंग द एज बिकॉज यू आर फ्रॉम हिमाचल, दैट इज वन पॉइंट। अनदर पॉइंट इज दैट यू मस्ट बी अवेयर ऑफ योर सराउंडिंग। ठीक है, तीसरा, क्योंकि आपकी लॉ में लैंग्वेज में आपका टेस्ट हो चुका है, यू आर ऑलरेडी क्वालिफाइड द मेंस एग्जाम, है ना, तो अब लॉ से रिलेटेड सवाल आए चाहे ना आए, आप उस टाइम पे रिकॉल कर पाओ चाहे ना कर पाओ, पॉजिटिवली करना चाहिए। ठीक है, और उसमें भी खासकर क्रिमिनल लॉ पे या आपकी जो वर्क प्रोफाइल है उससे रिलेटेड सवाल ज्यादा पूछे जाने वाले हैं। बट यस, यू शुड बी रिफ्रेशिंग अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स। अभी कुछ एक चीजें ऐसा लग रहा है कि अभी मिस हो गई है। ठीक है, तो उसको एक बार रिफ्रेश कर ले अच्छे से। ठीक है, अभी है 3-4 दिन, टाइम बहुत है, छुट्टी ले ली है। ठीक है, आराम से उसको पढ़ो। ठीक है, और कुछ एनीथिंग बियॉन्ड दिस?
नो सर, सर अभी तो पढ़ने लगूंगी तब सवाल आ सकता है, बट अब पढ़ा ही नहीं है अभी तक तो।
हाँ नहीं नहीं, एक एक ब्रॉडर एरिया देख ले कि मुझे अच्छा इन इन चीजों पे ध्यान रखना है। ठीक है, बाकी क्वेश्चंस आर एंडलेस। ठीक है, तो ऐसा तो होता ही नहीं है कि आपको सारे के सारे आंसर आते हैं। ठीक है, तो वो तो नहीं है, लेकिन ये जो हमारे से रिलेटेड सवाल हैं हम उनको जरूर सामने वाले को एक्सप्रेस करके कम्युनिकेट कर दे। दैट इज द ओनली थिंग व्हिच आई विल से। ठीक है, चलो अभी ऑल द बेस्ट। एक एक्सटर्नल पैनल में हम लेंगे अभी आपका सेशन ना, जिसमें जजेस भी बैठेंगे। ठीक है, तो उसमें आपका परफॉर्मेंस और अच्छा चाहिए।
सर अब मैंने पढ़ाई नहीं किया ढंग से, तो मैं अभी नहीं दे पाऊंगी।
हाँ अभी नहीं, अभी नहीं। ठीक है, यू जस्ट फर्स्टली प्रिपेयर। ठीक है, संडे के आसपास लेंगे। ठीक है, सैटरडे या संडे के आसपास लेंगे। अभी तो आप अच्छे से तैयारी करो, बिकॉज अभी मतलब आज का इंटरव्यू ऐसा है कि यू आर गुड एट 70 to 75%। अभी मुझे 75% तक तो ठीक लग रहा है। बाकी का जो 25% है उसके लिए, क्योंकि आपने भी रिफ्रेश नहीं किया, तो उस पे अभी काम कर ले। अभी जैसे इंटरव्यू खत्म होगा कॉपी खोलो एंड जस्ट गो फॉर क्विक रिवीजन ऑफ द थिंग्स। ठीक है, ताकि चीजें दिमाग से मिस ना हो, है ना। चलो, ऑल द बेस्ट, है ना, टेक केयर।
थैंक यू सर।
ओके, बाय।